1-24. Published by BibleVise. The book of Joshua chronicles the Israelites' conquest of the Promised Land under the leadership of Joshua, Moses' successor. These Joshua chapter summaries offer a concise overview of the key events and themes explored in this fascinating part of the Bible. When you are done reading here, you may also want to check out our complete list of Bible chapter summaries for every book of the Bible. Book of Joshua Summary by Chapter. Chapter 1. Commissioning Joshua. Following Moses' death, God commissions Joshua to lead the Israelites across the Jordan River and into the Promised Land. He encourages Joshua to be strong and courageous, reminding him of the promise of victory and the importance of upholding God's law. Read more. Joshua Chapter 1 Summary. Chapter 2. Rahab and the Spies. Joshua sends 2 spies to scout Jericho, the first city they will encounter in Canaan. They encounter Rahab, a prostitute, who hides them from the king and expresses her faith in the God of the Israelites. She proposes a deal, seeking protection for herself and her family in exchange for her assistance. The spies agree and return to Joshua with information about the city. Read more. Joshua Chapter 2 Summary. Chapter 3. Crossing the Jordan. God instructs the priests to carry the Ark of the Covenant in front of the Israelites as they cross the Jordan River. The waters miraculously part, allowing the people to cross on dry ground, mirroring the Israelites' crossing of the Red Sea under Moses' leadership. Read more. Joshua Chapter 3 Summary. Chapter 4. Memorial Stones and Renewal of the Covenant. 12 stones are taken from the middle of the Jordan River to serve as a permanent memorial of the miraculous crossing. The Israelites also perform circumcisions, fulfilling a neglected religious duty, and celebrate the Passover at Gilgal. Joshua renews the covenant with God by having the people rededicate themselves to following God's commandments. Read more. Joshua Chapter 4 Summary. Chapter 5. Circumcision and Observance of Passover. The Israelites observe the Passover again at Gilgal, this time after having been circumcised. This signifies their renewed commitment to God and their readiness to enter the land as a fully consecrated people. Read more. Joshua Chapter 5 Summary. Chapter 6. Jericho Conquered. God outlines a unique strategy for capturing Jericho. The Israelites march around the city walls for 7 consecutive days, accompanied by priests blowing trumpets on the 7th day. The walls crumble down, allowing the Israelites to enter and conquer the city. Read more. Joshua Chapter 6 Summary. Chapter 7. Achan's Sin and Defeat at Ai. Despite the victory at Jericho, the Israelites suffer a devastating defeat at the city of Ai. This happens because Achan, an Israelite, disobeys God's command and keeps spoils from Jericho for himself. After identifying and punishing Achan's sin, the Israelites return to Ai and successfully conquer the city. Read more. Joshua Chapter 7 Summary. Chapter 8. Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim. Following the victories at Jericho and Ai, Joshua leads the Israelites to Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim, locations designated by God. Half the tribes stand on Mount Ebal, representing the curses for disobedience, while the other half stand on Mount Gerizim, representing the blessings for obedience. The Israelites then read aloud the book of the law, reaffirming their covenant with God. Read more. Joshua Chapter 8 Summary. Chapter 9. The Gibeonites' Deception. The Gibeonites successfully deceive the Israelites into making a peace treaty by presenting themselves as travelers from a distant land. Joshua and the leaders are tricked into believing their story and agree to the pact, unaware that the Gibeonites actually live nearby. Read more. Joshua Chapter 9 Summary. Chapter 10. Victories over southern Canaanite kings. 5 Amorite kings form an alliance to attack Gibeon in retaliation for their treaty with the Israelites. Joshua leads the Israelite army to Gibeon's defense, miraculously stopping the sun and moon to extend daylight and allow for a complete victory over the Amorite forces. This event highlights God's intervention on behalf of the Israelites. Read more. Joshua Chapter 10 Summary. Chapter 11. Victories over northern Canaanite kings. Following the victories in the south, Joshua leads the Israelites north, conquering multiple Canaanite cities and their kings. This chapter details the specific cities and regions conquered, highlighting the swift and decisive nature of the Israelite campaign. Read more. Joshua chapter 11 Summary. Chapter 12. Summary of Conquests. This chapter provides a comprehensive list of all the kings conquered by the Israelites, both east and west of the Jordan River, under the leadership of Moses and Joshua. It serves as a historical record and emphasizes the extent of the land claimed by the Israelites. Read more. Joshua chapter 12 Summary. Chapter 13. Unconquered Land. Despite their victories, some significant Canaanite territories remain unconquered. This chapter outlines the remaining areas that the Israelites are yet to possess, providing an overview of the ongoing challenges and future battles they may face. Read more. Joshua chapter 13 Summary. Chapter 14. Land Distribution for the Tribes. This chapter focuses on the allocation of land among the 9.5 tribes of Israel. Specific territories are assigned to each tribe, based on their size and needs. Joshua, Caleb, and the Levites receive their own individual allocations. Read more. Joshua chapter 14 Summary. Chapter 15. Land Allotment for Judah. This chapter details the specific boundaries and cities within the territory assigned to the tribe of Judah. This includes major cities like Jerusalem and Hebron. Read more. Joshua chapter 15 Summary. Chapter 16. Land Allotment for Ephraim and Manasseh. Similar to chapter 15, this chapter details the specific land allocation for the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh, including their borders and significant cities. Read more. Joshua chapter 16 Summary. Chapter 17. Land Allotment for the remaining tribes. This chapter continues detailing the land distribution, focusing on the remaining tribes of Benjamin, Simeon, Zebulun, Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, and Dan. Their individual territories and important towns are specified. Read more. Joshua chapter 17 Summary. Chapter 18. Land for the Levites. Though not receiving their own tribal territory, the Levites are allocated specific cities to reside in throughout the conquered land. This chapter identifies these designated Levitical cities and clarifies their distribution across the different tribal territories. Read more. Joshua chapter 18 Summary. Chapter 19. Cities of Refuge. 6 cities are designated as cities of refuge, offering safe haven for unintentional killers. This chapter details the locations of these cities and outlines the regulations regarding their usage. Read more. Joshua chapter 19 Summary. Chapter 20. Cities for the Levites with priestly duties. This chapter specifies 3 additional cities designated for the Levites who hold priestly functions. These cities are chosen from the previously allocated Levitical cities and serve as centers for religious leadership and worship. Read more. Joshua chapter 20 Summary. Chapter 21. Inheritance rights for the daughters of Zelophehad. 5 daughters of Zelophehad approach Joshua with a legal matter concerning inheritance. As their father had no sons, they request to inherit his land within their tribe to prevent it from passing to another tribe. Joshua presents their case before the assembly, and God establishes a new legal precedent allowing daughters to inherit land in the absence of sons. Read more. Joshua chapter 21 Summary. Chapter 22. The Altar of Witness. After successfully dividing the land, the tribes east of the Jordan River build an altar by the riverbank. The tribes west of the Jordan perceive this act as a potential rebellion and send representatives to confront them. The eastern tribes clarify their intentions, emphasizing the altar's purpose as a symbol of unity and loyalty to God, not a breakaway act. Read more. Joshua chapter 22 Summary. Chapter 23. Joshua's Farewell Address. As Joshua nears the end of his life, he delivers a farewell address to the Israelite leaders. He recounts God's faithfulness throughout their journey, emphasizing the importance of remaining faithful to the covenant and living according to God's laws. He warns them against the dangers of idolatry and urges them to continue serving the Lord their God. Read more. Joshua chapter 23 Summary. Chapter 24. Covenant Renewal and Farewell. In the final chapter of Joshua, the leader gathers all the Israelites at Shechem for a renewed commitment to the covenant. He reminds them of God's faithfulness and challenges them to choose between serving the Lord or the gods of their past. The people wholeheartedly reaffirm their dedication to God, and Joshua passes away at the age of 110. The chapter also briefly mentions the death of the high priest, Eleazar, and the fulfillment of Joseph's promise through the burial of his bones in Shechem. Read more. Joshua chapter 24 Summary.